Alright, so one of my reviewers recommended against showing every single page of the book for long periods of time because that's kind of infringing on the copyright, which I didn't mean to do. So, and it's easier for me to flip through the book if I can hold it while the camera's not on it. So, behind it is the old starter set, which failed to teach me 5th edition. I was very disappointed in that. I've done a review on that before, but let's talk about the new version of Fighter. So, their prime ability is strength or dexterity. That makes sense. You can be a missile fighter or a melee fighter. They have 10 side hit dice. Their saving throw proficiencies, strength and constitution. The skill proficiencies, you get to choose 2 from acrobatics, animal handling, athletics, history, insight, intimidation, persuasion, perception, or survival. And yeah, I've been running a fairy character, and it's kind of disappointing. The acrobatics does not include aerial acrobatics. Their weapon proficiencies are simple and martial. Armor training is light, medium, or heavy armor and shields. Basically, any weapon and any armor. Starting equipment, choose A, B, or C. A is chainmail, greatsword, flail, 8 javelins, dungeoneer's pack, and 4 gold pieces. B is studded leather armor, scimitar, short sword, long bow, 20 arrows, quiver, dungeoneer's pack, and 11 gold pieces. And C is 155 gold pieces. Yeah, so basically A is melee fighter, B is missile fighter. So, class features of it. You get a fighting style, which you have to see in Chapter 5. So let's find that. Chapter 5 is feats. Now, feats, something that drove me crazy about 3.5, and they were not so big in the earlier version of 5th edition, but in this edition, they're back big time. So, there are origin feats and general feats and fighting style feats. So, yeah, fighting style can be archery, blind fighting, defense, dueling, great weapon fighting, interception, protection, thrown weapon fighting, 2 weapon fighting, unarmed fighting. Yeah, so you can't just be a fighter. You have to pick a style. And the styles, they give you some advantage like +2 to hit. And then there's Second Wind, which is you can use twice. When you finish a short rest, you can gain back all your hit points. Well, not all your hit points. You can get 1d10 plus your fighter level hit points back. So you get some hit points back. That's something only monks could do in 1st edition. Then Weapon Mastery. You can use the mastery properties of 3 weapons of your choice, and you can change them every time you take a long rest. Then action. At 2nd level, you get a power called Action Surge, which you can push yourself beyond normal limits. To quite understand what that does. Then Tactical Mind. So, yeah, a whole bunch of abilities. At 3rd level, you get a subclass, and then beyond that, you get ability score improvements, extra attacks, tactical shifts. Yeah, so, but, wait a minute. Your proficiency bonus, playing a bard, I didn't really think that through, proficiency bonus, but it's +2 at 1st level and +6. Only +6 at 20th level? It's the same for wizards. What the hell? Why would you want to play a fighter if your chance to hit is the same as being a wizard? That was the one thing that fighters did that was different from the other classes, is they were better to hit and had more hit points. They still have more hit points, but they're not any better to hit. So when we get into the subclasses, the first one is Battle Master. And Battle Master, you get a whole bunch of maneuver options: ambush, bait and switch, commander strike. In third edition, there were a whole bunch of feats that would allow you to make combat more complex and just roll to hit, roll damage. And that's what the Battle Master does. A whole bunch of different feats that are here. You learn a couple when you first start off, 3 of them, and then you can gain more as you go up in level. And that's the main thing about this subclass. The champion class, though, doesn't have all that. It's more of a standard fighter. Your critical hits improve. You get better at initiative and athletics checks, strength checks. You gain another fighting style. That's pretty much it. It's very plain. I think if I would house rule this, I would give fighters, instead of their proficiency bonus for rolling hit, it would be plus their level for their bonus to hit. This is what it should be. Okay, and then there's Eldritch Knight, which is a spellcasting fighter class, which they can do at 19th level. They can do a 4th level spell. This seems designed to give you the elf fighter magic user, but it's not as good as the first edition fighter magic as far as magic use goes. And then there's a Psi Warrior, which makes no sense at all. Apparently psionics is back as subclasses of different classes, in this case the fighter. Basically you're a fighter who can do telekinesis, and that's it. So, yeah, this fighter is just... Why would you want to be a fighter if you can't... If you're not better at hitting than the other classes? Why would you want to be a fighter? This makes no sense. So,